y'all, my name is Jamie, and this is a special video, cause, yeah, the channel is surprisingly, it still blows my mind. We made 150 subscribers, and that's a very big number to me. Like, I remember breaking 100, I was like, this is insane! Breaking any number, really, cause, it's wild. This time last year, I think I had like 30 people here, like 36, something like that, but to think that that much has happened in a year, it's so crazy. Like, when I started doing YouTube almost 2 years ago, I never really expected to have an audience or have anybody here, or especially not to have made any of the amazing friends I've made through YouTube, so it's just like so exciting. So, for the 150 milestone, I wanted to do a Q&A. I've never done anything like that before. I thought it would be interesting and fun to, for you guys to had some questions or, crazy random happenstance. That's a Dr. Horrible reference. Anyway, I just thought it would be a nice little thing. If you guys had some questions, I could answer them. Oh, I got my hair cut too. It's really short and bouncy, and I like it a lot. It's also really hot in the house and outside and everything, because living in the South, it's really hot. It's hot in most places of the world, I think, right now. Anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling. So, to answer questions, and thank you to everybody that asked a question or, like, shared it around or anything, it meant a lot. You guys are great and awesome, and I love you guys. Yay! I'm gonna look on my phone. I actually got Zelda stickers, like, yesterday. If you guys can see. Isn't it cool? I'm gonna look on my phone and answer, or, find the tweet and answer the question. I may or may not have it put up on screen, like the tweet as I'm saying it. I am going to try to figure out a way to do that. Either involving, like, Movie Maker and me doing it myself, if I can manage that, or having someone else help me. So, we'll see how this goes. Okay, so, first question, I'm going to try to go in order. If I go out of order a little bit, I'm sorry, but I'm going to try to go in order of what I remember for people replying. First question is actually from D-Money on Twitter, and D-Money asked for my favorite Zelda game, and he said specific, I know. Okay, so, Zelda, topic, I love, let's see. Favorite Zelda game, and actually favorite game of all time, is Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. I could go on and on and on about this game forever. It's the first Zelda game I completed. That's a lie. It's one of the first games I ever completed. It took me like 6 years to finally complete it, and I didn't get 100%, and that's a story for another time. But this is the game that got me to be such a hardcore Zelda fan. So, I love this game a lot. It's been my favorite game for a while, probably always be my favorite game. Nothing's beat it yet, so yeah, favorite Zelda game, hands down, Link to the Past. Always and forever. I'm pretty sure. From what I remember, our next question is from Frozen Chorus. Hey, Chorus! Asking me what's my favorite snack. I actually need to think about this one. Okay, my favorite snack. Currently, my favorite snack is I like to eat, there's like, they sell ice cream that's like chocolate and vanilla mixed. I mean, I don't know, they probably sell that all over the world, to be fair, but, I've been recently eating that with blueberry waffles. So, like, I have a waffle ice cream and then another waffle, so it's like an ice cream sandwich. That's been like my favorite snack slash what I eat for breakfast. I'm not a healthy person. So, yeah, to answer that, currently, that's my favorite snack. So, yay! Our next question is from Jace Jim, or Jace on Twitter, friend of mine. And he says, why are you such a dweeb? JK, no, I love you, girl. I was born a dweeb. I can't really change that. Sorry. I just embrace it to the best of my ability. Like, I embrace being a giant nerd because it's wonderful and I love it. And I love you too. Thanks, Jace, for asking. I'm glad that you noticed I'm a dweeb because, yeah, embrace the dweebness. Yeah, I'm awkward. Okay, next question. Our next question is from my good friend Dragon, Violet. She goes by Dragon2121, the Dragon2121 on Twitter. And she asks, what do you want to do career-wise in your life? So for this question, it's a bit of an interesting, like, thought-provoking question, because currently, where I am in my life, I need to figure out what I want to do. Since, recently graduated college, all that kind of stuff. So, currently, I'm going between, like, teaching, also trying to get my career in forensics, since I got the chemistry degree, and it's been a lot of back and forth, because, like, I really think I would enjoy teaching a lot. I've been doing a teaching at a summer program the past few weeks over here, and but I also don't want to give up on forensics, and there's also art like tied in there. So, excuse me. Currently, I'm leaning more towards teaching. That seems more like what I actually want to do as opposed to what I feel like I have to do. The forensics and stuff could come later, because I know that's going to take a lot more schooling and a lot more like training and things like that. But with teaching, I could get certified and I could start probably immediately. It's bugging me. I could probably start like immediately, and I know that like there's always a market for there's always like people are always hiring for teachers, and it might as well be the people that actually want to teach, because I have seen plenty of teachers in the world that aren't in it for the kids, aren't in it for any other thing than just this is an easy way to make money. So, probably teacher. Thank you, Dragon. Right. Next question. So this question is from a friend of mine named Master Frog, who he's really awesome. You should check him out on Twitter because he tweets some funny stuff, and he's really sweet and all. And yeah, I never really talked about him in a video before. So this is Master Frog, and his question is: if money was no issue, and you could do anything you wanted as your vocation, so job, what would you do? If money was no issue and I could do anything I wanted, it would be art or some form of entertainment. I would say YouTube, but like the main reason I can't do YouTube as a career, I guess, is like several reasons, because I do need a career that's actually going to be making me income right now, right away, because I have debts and I have bills and I have animals and all that kind of stuff. So like money is an issue on that side, but I would love to do YouTube. YouTube is it's a lot of fun and I enjoy it a lot, and it's let me connect with so many people. But there's also art, because as far as like the art industry, unless you're like a really like high up, well-known artist, you don't really make a whole lot of money. I would have to make super big scale projects. Like I made the 4-foot tall Link out of clay that like I'm pretty sure I could sell that and it'd be fine. I don't want to sell it because I made it and it's near and dear to me and I don't want to sell it. But if money was not an issue, something to do with art or something to do with YouTube. Most likely art, because that's where my real passion is, as far as like I love to create things. I love to make things, and yeah, art's really important to me. So probably something to do with art. Also YouTube. It just, I got a lot of things up here that I like to put out into the world. I guess that didn't make any sense. Moving on, but thank you for your question. So I kind of lost track of who asked what after this, because yeah, they're kind of all like mixed up there. But so yeah, this question is actually from Epic Edgy, who I don't think I've ever mentioned him on the channel at all, ever. Totally not a huge giant fan or anything. But yeah, he's one of my really good friends, and he has a YouTube channel. He has an English channel and a Swedish channel, and he's great, awesome. You should totally check him out. So yeah, Hedgie's question is: if you were to wake up one day as a game character, which one would you love it to be and why? I think, personally, if I was to wake up as a game character, I would want to be... How many of you saw this coming? I would want to be Link, because, like, Legend of Zelda is obviously, like, my favorite thing, or one of my all-time favorite things, and I love playing as Link. I love having the adventure, I love saving the day, I love... He's so cute, and he's got the sword and everything, and I would have to say Link, for, like, obvious reasons. But I really love that question. If I was to think about if it wasn't a Zelda related thing, I'm gonna go on a not Zelda related game. I would say Papyrus, because Papyrus from Undertale is awesome and I love him, and he's got like the best personality, the best attitude about life and everything. So yeah, thank you, Edgy. Next question is from Shellbreeze. I really hope I said that right. I'm really sorry. Her name is also it's Shelly, but that's her Twitter handle is Shellbreeze. I hope I said that right, Shelly. Sorry. And she asked me, would I rather have tentacles for arms or Venus flytraps for legs? Let's think about this for a second. Tentacles are like, woo, like wavy around, like, look at me, I've got tentacles, like octopi. And then like Venus flytraps are the plants that like eat things. I'm just trying to picture someone walking around and their legs are plants that eat things. I'd probably have to go with the tentacle arms, because I wouldn't want to be walking and then all of a sudden my leg just opens up and I fall over in something because it saw something it wanted to eat. What if my leg accidentally ate a dog? I could never live with myself. I'd rather hug a dog with tentacle arms than let my leg accidentally eat it because it's a Venus flytrap and it's like, oh, that looks like a meal, and yeah, tentacles for arms. Sure. Yes, that was a very interesting question. Thank you. Our next question is from Hugo and at King Bombbeard on Twitter. All these questions are from Twitter, obviously. Like, there's a tweet thread, so yeah, you should go follow all these guys on Twitter. They're awesome. So Hugo asked, if you could collaborate with any YouTuber, who would it be and why? I don't know, there's like this really awesome guy named King Bombbeard. Don't know if you've heard of him. I mean, it's not like I just mentioned his name like 5 seconds ago. I'm gonna quit being stupid. But yeah, you, obviously, the one that asked the question, Hugo is one of my absolute best friends, and we've played games together, but we haven't actually been able to collab together yet, because collabs are a tricky thing. Collabs have to work with, like, not a lot of, but, like, the majority of my YouTube friends are in different time zones, so if I was ever to collab with most of them, it would have to be where our times actually fit, and Hugo and my times fit actually pretty well, you know, oddly enough for being 5 hours apart, so it would be Hugo, King Bombbeard, for one, for definitely. And another would be Epic Hedgie, because, yeah, Hedgie, you know, I want to collab with you at some point, but I know, like, Sweden and America, it's kind of hard to arrange that. But, so yeah, Hugo and Hedgie, that's my 2 main people I want to collab with at some point, hopefully in the future at some point. As far as, like big, like, well-known YouTubers, I would have to say Jacksepticeye, because do you know how freaking awesome it would be to play a game with Jack? I almost couldn't say that sentence, because my words started running over. But it would be so cool to play a game with Jack. That'd be amazing. That's like something, just to talk to Jack would be really freaking awesome. So yeah, I know you said with any YouTuber, and I mean, like, I answered it, it'd be Hugo. So yeah, that's my collab dreams, I guess. So our next question is actually a follow-up to Hedgie's question. I'm about to hiccup, I think. Sorry. And it is from VG Elucidator. That's the name and also the @handle, or username on Twitter. And it says, "Did you dance with Christopher Walken in broad daylight on a major street, and as you pass, everyone in your way begins backup dancing?" Did you dance with Christopher Walken in broad daylight on a major street, and as you pass, everyone in your way begins backup dancing? I mean, why not? It's Christopher Walken. I like Christopher Walken. I think he's pretty cool. I can't do an impression of him like I know several people who can, but I mean, sure, why not? And then there's backup dancing. I mean, that'd be great. We'd have our own little dance party. Like, bring it on. I'm a really terrible dancer, but I mean, it's Christopher Walken. We'd have backup dancers. That'd be pretty neat. I don't know if that was a question. I think that was a question for me, but Hedgie's, I think it replied to Hedgie's question, and it was, anyway, thank you, VG Elucidator. You're cool. Thank you. A follow-up to the follow-up question is actually from Grumpy Owl Gaming, who's another really cool dude. He's a friend of mine, got a YouTube channel, everything like that. And he asked, the real question is, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? And there's just this whole conversation. VG threw in that Christopher Walken is probably the devil in some obscure religion, which I can believe it. I can actually believe that. So yeah, that was just like some little follow-up questions that were in this thread. And thank you guys for asking these questions. It's kind of funny to read, like, people's reactions and stuff. So, next question is question. Speak. Say your words, Jay. Get it right. Next question is from Hexic. I really hope I'm saying your name right. He's an awesome friend of mine. He lives in England. Does YouTube. You should check him out. And he says, I guess like the JonTron. I can't do it right, but he said, "What's your favorite Zelda enemy and why?" So I'm gonna do kind of a two-parter here because obviously, a lot of times, I keep saying obviously, and I'm like, it may not be obvious. People might not know. I go back to Link to the Past a lot because, again, that's my favorite game of all time, my favorite Zelda game, and I want to do, like, my favorite enemy in that game, but then also my favorite enemy in, like, the Zelda universe, and it changes from time to time, but this is the first thing I thought of. So, Link to the Past. My favorite enemy is probably Blind, because, and these are some spoilers, I don't know how many of you haven't played Link to the Past, so sorry about this, but Blind is alluded to earlier on in the game about a thief who, bright light, like, hurt his eyes and things like that, and I think you hear about him first in the light world, but then in the dark world, I believe it's the fourth dungeon in the dark world, where you go in and you're saving, like, a princess or a fair maiden, and she's like, help me, I need to get outside. So what you do is you actually take her to this room that you have, you've put a bomb in the floor above it, and light has shone down through the hole made by the bomb, and when you bring her into that room and that patch of light, she transforms into blind. And I always thought that was the coolest thing, because it's leading you to think like, oh, I'm helping this person, and then it turns into this boss that you have to fight, and I just thought that was a cool mechanic. So I would say from Link to the Past, it'd be blind. As far as like favorite enemy, I would say the Diabolical Cubist Sisters from Phantom Hourglass, who I know is not like a highly, you know, like loved game, but that is actually the first Zelda game I ever completed, and I knew little to nothing about Zelda. I haven't been a hardcore fan of my life, but I feel like I have. Anyway, yeah, Cubist Sisters. The reason I like the Cubist Sisters is I like their dynamic. Again, it's kind of like with one. I just realized this. Like you're saving them supposedly, but then they end up turning on you. And I like the whole dynamic of like they're shooting stuff at you and you have to shoot it back. It's kind of like when you fight Aghanim in Link to the Past and you have to shoot his orbs back at him. I just thought it was cool. Okay, so yeah, thanks Hexic. Sorry for the long-winded answer, but there's your answer. Trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. I mean, I know there's one I haven't done it. Two. There's two more. Okay, cool. Awesome. So, this is another question from Grumpy Owl Gaming that wasn't a follow-up question to a previous question. And his question is, what was the most beautiful moment in your life? This is a hard one. I probably should have thought about this when I first saw it yesterday. I'm poor at planning. So it's taken me a little bit of time to think about it. But the only thing that's coming to mind right now is something involving my peepaw, who was my grandpa that passed away earlier this year, as you guys may or may not know. So my peepaw was essentially like my father, because my biological father was not around all the time, you know, stuff like that. I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but my peepaw was not a man that liked to say I love you a lot. He was very kind of nonchalant about it. He also liked to tease like nothing else. He would have just like the most stoic face, and I'd come home from school and he's like, oh, what's your report card say? And I'd be like, oh, I got like a B+ or A-. He's like, what's up with this B bull crap? What is this? He's like, you need to do better, even though he knew I was doing my best. So he always liked to mess around, but he always made sure I knew how proud he was of me, no matter what. So I remember one day I got a phone call. I was at college. I was like knee deep in homework. I was really stressed out. It was like thermodynamics homework, and I didn't want to do it. I was very unmotivated to do it. So Peepaw called me, and he's like, I just wanted to check on you and see how you were doing. I was like, oh, I'm doing great. I'm trying to work on this homework and everything. And he's like, well, what's the matter? And I told him I was unmotivated. I just didn't want to do it. And he was like, well, here's your motivation. I'm very proud of you. I love you. And I know you can do it. And I'm always gonna remember that, because that was really, really important to me, because he's never done anything like that. And so yeah, I didn't mean to get emotional on this, but like to me, that so far that I can think of right now, I'm sure there's other moments in my life that could qualify as the most beautiful moment, but that's the only one I can think of right now. So thank you so much for your question, Grumpy Owl. I really thank you very much. And our last question, but certainly not the least, is from James Tafaroji. I really hope I spelled your name, or said your name right. I'm not spelling your name. Really awesome dude on YouTube, super funny, super sweet. You should check him out. He's really cool too. He said, what are the things you wish to accomplish in life, and what makes you feel fulfilled? The things I wish to accomplish in life. I want to make people happy. Making people happy is probably the most important thing to me, whether it's by making them laugh, by being there for them, by just anything really. That's what I want to do in life. I want to have like a career, or have like make life choices that it makes people happy in any sort of way or form. And that actually is what makes me feel fulfilled. Knowing that like family or friends, like knowing that I can somehow brighten their day, or like people who watch me. Yay! Thank you so much for watching. I hope at some point I've brightened someone's day. Just knowing I can brighten someone's day does make me fulfilled, because I'm like, that's what I want to do. I want to make people happy. And as far as what else I want to do in life, like I want to create art. I want to play as many video games as possible. I want to I would love to be able to play guitar one day. because I really freaking love music. Music is one of my favorite things. Like, music is like, it means a lot to me. So I would love to play guitar one day. There's a lot of things I want to do in life. But right now I'm doing a lot of them by being able to do YouTube and play games and connect with people. And so yeah, I want to make people happy. I want to create things. And yeah. Thank you guys so much for all your questions. You guys are the greatest, and I'm really actually happy that people ask questions. I was not sure anybody would, but thank you guys so much. And 150 of you, there's like, that's so insane to think about right now. I never expected anything close to what it is now. I never even thought. It's very mind-blowing, and you guys are the greatest, and thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I'm gonna wrap this up because it's gone pretty long and it's kind of hot in this room, so I'm just gonna wrap this up for a bit. But thank you guys so much. Again, you guys are amazing, and I hope you're having a fantastic week. And I've had a fantastic week and all that and everything's going great and awesome in your lives. And all the stuff that I normally say, and I mean every single bit of it. But yeah, you guys are the greatest. Thank you so much to everyone that has questions. Thank you so much to everybody for just being awesome people. And as always, I will see you all